welcome to my channel. My name is Misty, and today we're going to talk about a very important subject and a very concerning subject, and that is I'm hearing a lot of people saying, I want to homeschool, however, I don't think I'm qualified. I don't feel like I'm good enough to be their teacher, or I don't have the background or the education. There's so many different ways of saying it, but basically you're saying that you are afraid you are not going to be able to teach your children. A lot of hand motion like this. I don't know what I'm doing. And before I get into my thoughts on this subject, I do want to say make sure you hit the subscribe button to stay up to date with all the other homeschool content going on, just like this video here. And the like button lets me know that this is the type of content you enjoy so that I know what to make for you in the future. Okay, with all of that being said, let's go ahead and talk about this subject and my thoughts on it. All right, so like I said, it is very common for me to hear things like, I just feel like I'm not going to be able to teach my children. Saying things like, I don't have enough knowledge, I don't have enough supplies, I don't have a way to get the curriculum, I don't have the money, I don't have the experience, I don't have the patience, all of those type of things, saying why you're not able to homeschool. But at the same time, I'm hearing that you would have interest in it, especially with today's current craziness going on, with the way the schools are trying to process how they're going to educate children. A lot of parents are starting to feel more enticed by the idea of homeschool, but they still have these reservations of feeling like you aren't able to do it. So first of all, I like the way that Stefan from Project Life Mastery puts this. If you're not following his channel, you should be, and he is amazing. I've followed him for years, but he talks about abundance, the mindset of abundance versus the mindset of scarcity, and I think that plays a lot into what's going on with this topic. And so I like the way that he says it. I wrote it down and I have it here in front of me, and he says the abundance mindset flows out of a deep inner sense of personal worth and security. It is a paradigm that is grounded in the belief that there is more than enough for everyone. Alternatively, a scarcity mindset is the belief that there will never be enough, resulting in feelings of fear, stress, and anxiety. And I feel like that fits this very specific topic so much. Now, usually you would hear the mindset of abundance targeted more towards money, job opportunity, entrepreneurship. Those are usually the realms where you hear these type of phrases thrown around, and that makes sense in those realms, but it also makes sense in all the other realms as well, including homeschool. So let's talk about what that looks like in the thought process of homeschool. So right here, let's recognize thoughts of scarcity, those negative comments that are going on and playing out in your head to prevent you from moving forward with homeschool. Saying, I am not qualified, I don't want to mess this up, I can't afford homeschool. This is very similar to speaking hate to yourself, saying that you're not good enough. This doesn't necessarily have anything to do with homeschool, but actually about your self-reflections and how you would speak to yourself. I think this deals with the insecurity of feeling that you are not good enough. And so in order to move forward with the process or to figure out solutions to all these things that you're thinking in your head in a negative sense, you have to address that. You have to stop and look at the way that you are reflecting on your own self. All of these thoughts that I'm hearing are more about how I don't, I can't, I, which means that usually you're looking at you not being enough. That's how I interpret it. You can possibly feel otherwise, and tell me what you think in the comments down below, and I'd be happy to kind of talk back and forth about that. But that's how I see it. I think that a lot of it is just feeling that you don't have the confidence in yourself. Also, disclaimer, none of this is to make you feel horrible. That's not my intent at all, so don't take it that way. I would rather just address the situation that's going on and try to help you process it if I can, because being someone who has already started homeschool, I've processed through this, and from time to time I still do have to process this. So I'm just wanting to put this video out there to be helpful to you if this is where you are in your mind. Don't take it as being beat up about your mindset or your confidence or anything like that, but just let it be kind of a thing to open your eyes and see if maybe that's where the insecurity falls about why you haven't began the homeschool process. So now that we've looked at those things, like you're stopping and you're thinking, okay, these are the negative things I'm thinking. I'm saying I can't homeschool because. So now that you've looked at that, let's look at what the mindset of abundance would look like instead of scarcity. So instead of saying that you're not qualified enough, or you don't know what you're doing, or you're afraid to mess it up, look at it as there is no better teacher for my child than me, okay? Nobody knows your child like you. You gave birth to that child. Or if you're a father who is looking into homeschooling, You didn't birth the child, but still you were there every step of the way, most likely. And so you've been there through all of this, and you know what your child likes, you know what they thrive off of, you know what their dislikes are, and you can create a whole homeschool atmosphere revolving around that. So that is why you are the best teacher. You're the best fit. In the state we live in, the only requirement is a GED for the most part, or a high school diploma, I think GED as well, but that is the basic requirement, and that means that you've at least mastered enough to move along. So instead of saying you don't want to mess it up and you don't want to screw up their education, you can say instead, I can figure out how to do this because I want this to work. You see how we can change these mindsets? A lot of this apprehension to doing homeschool is just a mindset. It's very much mind over matter when it comes to putting the key in the ignition and just getting the ball rolling. Instead of worrying about if you can afford homeschool or not, I am creative and resourceful. I can find the supplies and the ideas without spending anything or spending minimal. That is very true with homeschool. You do not have to buy the top of the line curriculum. You do not have to buy $300, $400, $500 curriculum sets, guys. It doesn't work like that every single time. If you can do that and you want to do it, great, but if not, you don't have to. You can spend $0 and still homeschool if you are resourceful enough. So first, you have to change that mindset, flip around those thoughts from scarcity to abundance, and then you will be on a much better path to processing out how to make homeschool work for you if that's what you really want to do. You need to look at yourself with love and grace, and then build the confidence knowing that you can do this. So let's kind of talk about some of those pressing issues when it comes to homeschool and those things that hold you back. So we've talked about the mindset, which I think is the very first most important part, because if you're leading this classroom, you have to get your mind right. So it's up to you to have that positive mindset, not only for yourself to get the job done, but because you want to display that for your children. You want your children to see that mindset in you and to begin to build it in them, in their character. Right, so let's talk about the pressing issues now. If you're saying I can't afford a curriculum, me too, just touched on that. You can spend $0, okay? And the way you can do that is Facebook Marketplace. I've seen people give away a lot of school supplies for free. You can take advantage of that. Go through your own closets at home, hit up family members that are throwing things out. For all you know, they might have a whole stacks of paper that they're not keeping, crayons, all that kind of stuff. So you can be as resourceful as you imagine. Just figure out ways to get what you need legally. Let's throw that in there. Get it legally. Another way that you can get stuff for cheaper, if you're not looking for necessarily free, but you want it to be more affordable, is to buy a PDF form of a curriculum instead of a hardcover, softcover binding type situation, because they have to charge you more for the paper and the process of getting it bound into a book for you. So if you do PDF, then you're just getting the electronic version for you to later print out yourself. So that can save you money depending on how you go about that. My favorite route that I do, and it saves a ton of money, is secondhand curriculum. So I will get on eBay, I will get on Facebook Marketplace, places like that. I will start searching for curriculums that I know I want to do, and I'll keep my eye out for it. So you can't do this like a week before school starts. You have to do this way in advance. So I know that I want All About Reading Level 2, which is what I'm currently searching for, and I haven't found quite the deal just yet, so I haven't bought the curriculum. Worst case scenario, I do have to wait until I say I don't find anything. I will have to pay full price for it online. Hopefully I find some kind of promo code or something, but that is worst case scenarios. I just end up buying the full price. But for the most part, I save myself hundreds of dollars a year by buying secondhand on Facebook Marketplace and eBay. And the fun way to do this is research what it is that you want to teach your child in that coming year or that month or whatever it is, and then you build the curriculum around that idea. So if your child is learning early concepts of reading, then you can just get online. A quick Google research will show you, a quick Google search, not research, a quick Google search will show you what basic skills need to be learned. 9 times out of 10, you're already going to know how to do those basic concepts. So now you can create your own curriculum based on that. So now you're only spending money on a pad of paper, markers, things like that. Maybe even a lamination machine, which I bought mine secondhand for $20, and it works perfect. So you can always do that and be resourceful in that sense, and you'll just spend a fraction of the cost compared to if you pay a company to give you the curriculum themselves. All right, so let's move on to, this video is long. This video is super long. I'm still deciding if I should break it up into 2 parts. This chair is noisy. Hello. Okay, so the next is I am not qualified. Wrong. As long as you have your high school diploma, at least in our state, you qualify. Say that there's even concepts you don't remember, you're relearning all of this with your child. So I'm granted there are people that have comprehension issues, and I won't speak for them because I'm not someone who's skilled in that area, but for most adults, we are able to comprehend. So even if you can't remember the difference between what an adjective is, a pronoun, I'm just throwing random words out there. So, you know, if you can't remember what those things are, that's okay. You can get a curriculum that will help you learn that step by step. Vivi's reading curriculum is a very step-by-step, no stones left unturned type of curriculum. So don't let that get in your way. So there is a channel, and I hope I'm not butchering her name, but her name is Akiba Mays, and everything, I always link people down below if I remember. But she made a really good point. A lot of teachers are actually self-taught in university. Just because you paid for those college courses doesn't mean that a teacher gave you like golden information. A lot of it is learned on your own. They give you the books for their curriculum, but still it's up to the students to be researching and doing a lot of self-learning on their own. So there's nothing that they have that you can't access completely. You have the internet for free at your disposal. So you can just do quick Google searches and you can figure out whatever it is you need to figure out. There are tons of books written on homeschooling, I'm sure, out there. Like, there's tons of books on every subject. So you can always find ways to educate yourself on how to be a better teacher, how to set up better classrooms, how to build patience with your children, how to set up structure, how to teach them different subjects. Like, there's unlimited resources at your disposal. You can rent it from the library instead of paying for the book. You can, once again, research and find bloggers who have those degrees and backgrounds in teaching. Like, there are so many ways to do it. YouTube, there are teachers I follow that have really great information on their pages. So let's say you're uncomfortable, you have a lack of support from family, all the annoying comments we get, like, well, they're not going to be properly exposed to other children, socializing is going to be an issue, or maybe they're even taking stabs at your ability to teach your children. Okay, first of all, you do not owe anyone an explanation when they come at you with all of their questions about how you're supposed to be able to handle this. That's nobody's business but you and your spouse, or just you, however that looks. You do not have to accept family members and friends pointing out the flaws in you that would make you not a good teacher. You have the right to speak up and let somebody know that you do not like the way that they are putting negativity towards you or speaking down about you, and that you will not stand for it. You have the right to do that. It doesn't matter who it is. You have the right to defend yourself as a human being and to not let people belittle you. Honestly, the people, I'm getting like fired up. The people who are usually making those comments know nothing about homeschool. They hear the same spoon-fed, regurgitated beliefs of they'll never have a social life. You don't have the qualifications, this and that. Like, it's all the same annoying thoughts that get spewed out at you, and you can just ignore them because they have no understanding of homeschool usually. Okay, there are some people who maybe are anti it, they grew up in it, whatever. But for the most part, most people are just talking nonsense and know nothing about it. And on top of all that, at the end of the day, let the education speak for you. Let your kids' development, comprehension, all of the skills they are attaining through you homeschooling be what speaks loud volumes. It always speaks louder than words. So you don't owe any explanation at the beginning, and you can just let people see on the back end, oh, okay, she's doing this. And she's doing good. That's what I have to say about that subject. This last one is a huge one, and this one hits home the most for me, and that is I have multiple kids and I don't think I can handle it all. Gotta be honest, it's a lot. It is a lot to say you're gonna throw an extra thing on your plate to take care of, okay? And when you have multiple kids, it is more challenging. I found that out with Savannah being around, but isn't that the truth for every aspect of your life with multiple kids? So the truth is that when you have multiple kids, there's always like obstacles in the way. Somebody's throwing a tantrum, somebody's tired, somebody's hungry. It's always something, right? Like, we're used to that anyways. So yes, it will be hard, but over time, the children will learn the structure that you've set up, and they will expect it, and they will comply more for the most part. And your really little children will continue to grow, and it should be easier to handle them in the whole homeschool structure. So keep that in mind. They're not infants and toddlers forever. They will eventually graduate into understanding the concept of calming down, paying attention, and not throwing the tantrums. feel like my eyes are doing all kinds of crazy stuff in this video. So yeah, multiple children are a lot to handle in every aspect of life. It's hard to go grocery shopping with children. It's hard to get ready and get out the house for school or for church or wherever you're going. It can be hard to get the cooking and cleaning done, give them baths and the food. You know, everything's always a lot with multiples. So you just have to look at it in that way. It's another thing for you to just have to figure out how to master. And I'm confident that you will figure it out if you want it bad enough. I've figured it out. All right, so this video is super long. I've been recording for 26 minutes. It needs to come to an end. I'm always so long-winded, but yeah, I hope that this was helpful. Hopefully it sheds some light on different aspects of things that have been holding you back. I don't know, that's the point of this video. I want to help push you in that direction if that's what you want. I never want to push people to homeschool because it's the right thing to do. Like, no, it's not. Maybe it doesn't fit every family, and that's okay. Maybe you want them in a school setting. But considering everything that's going on and all of the strange shutdowns and hybrid schooling and all of that, this definitely is the time to decide if you want to pursue the homeschooling. And I feel like it will be a lot easier than handling the hybrid back and forth stuff and trying to handle, here we go, no, I need to stop. That can be a whole nother video. I need to stop, okay. So I hope that that's helpful. So don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more content like this. Hit the like button so I know that this is the type of content that you like. And I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great day. Bye.